everybody, welcome back to another video. So the good news today is that I'm officially halfway through Act 3, and I know that might not seem like a big deal to a lot of people, but for me, this has been such a rough patch of rewrites that I am completely satisfied to be where I am right now. This feels really good. So chapters 21 and 22 are done, they're in the bag, I don't need to worry about them anymore. Next up is chapter 23, which is going to be a doozy. That plot thread I pulled a couple chapters ago, that really affected chapter 23. So now that plot thread does not exist, chapter 23 is like one big blank canvas. I know generally what needs to happen. I know the point I need to hit at the end in order to make it move on to the next chapter, but I need new motivation, I need new action, and I have to brainstorm all of this. So there's that. Okay, so the chapter in question is chapter 23, and our ultimate goal here is to get to the house. The characters need to get to this place of safety. First, they need to leave their present location, which is Henry's house. They're going to need to enter the woods. While in the woods, there will be a kiss, and this kiss is going to be the height of the romantic subplot, so this kiss is super important and has to happen at this point. And then they eventually need to leave the woods, which will get them to our goal of getting to the house. Now, somewhere in here, I need to establish some crows because crows are a thematic image in this story. And I also need to brainstorm new dramatic action. But I have no idea what that's going to be. That's why we're doing this. Another thing I need to figure out is why the kiss happens. I mean, obviously I know why the kiss happens. This has been building up through the entirety of the story, but why then? Like, why was it so urgent that these characters had to kiss at this point? Also, I need to build in rising fear. So this whole chapter it's kind of like the build up to the end. There's a lot of build, scary stuff, build, scary stuff, build, and then it's just gonna start the downhill roll to the end of the story. So the rising fear is important and it does need to be played out. Also need to work on that relationship. Like I said before, why does this kiss happen? It has been built up in the other chapters, but the relationship between these two characters also has to be building during this chapter. Okay, so let's start with a clean slate. We've got enter the woods at the beginning and leave the woods at the end. Let's put the kiss closer to leave the woods, and then dramatic action happening somewhere around the kiss. It probably there should be dramatic action after the kiss. I'm not sure if we should have dramatic action before the kiss too and like sandwich them around the kiss, or if it should just be after. I don't know, that's something I need to think about. Okay, so let's put in our rising fear and anxiety because I know that needs to start towards the beginning, and I know the relationship needs to start to build towards the beginning. Okay, let's put them down here so I have more room to work with. Okay, so with rising fear and anxiety, let's build that out, at least in the beginning, as atmosphere, making it dark and moody, and also adding the crows in at the same time. Kill two birds with one stone right there. And to add to the rising fear, I think I want to add sounds behind them. This is going to be a chapter of unseen foe for a while, so it's a lot of you're fearing the thing that's off the screen situation. Okay, for the relationship, we need our other character, Chris, needs to give some of his background. He's been kind of cagey about that, and he needs to open up for this relationship to work. Also, we discover that Chris has a secret. So let's put them in place. Okay, obviously, needing to build the atmosphere at the beginning of the chapter. That's a given. And I think obviously I need to put the Chris background towards the beginning too, because in order for a relationship build to even work, I need some kind of foundation to build it on. Okay, so these two still left. I think I would rather break up the Chris parts with the scariness, so let's put sounds behind them in the middle of the two Chris relationship issues. Okay, we need some more room. We're running out of room here. Let's build up this dramatic action. What should it be? I know it needs a couple of beats. It can't just be one thing. It's got to be a build. So most obvious answer is my monster, which I call a hunter. So let's say a hunter is coming. A hunter is the sounds behind them. So They're starting to realize that the hunter is chasing them. Sounds good. Let's move those, give me some more room. And I think going back to Chris has a secret, let's make him promise her to trust him. I think that's good because the way I have this playing out in my brain, I think this is a good point to put that in. It kind of implies his secret a little more. And yeah, I think it'll be good. Okay, so let's fill in dramatic action and leave the woods. Everything happening after the kiss, where all the action starts happening really quickly. So our monster has caught up with us. And I think the promise is going to come back into play. Ooh, let's make it so the promise is almost immediately broken and run away. I think this might work. So dramatic action is no longer a question mark. It's now just a monster encounter. And have I answered the kiss question? I think so. It might be artificially deepened, but I think it has enough that the characters in the moment with a lot of high tension will see it as a good idea. I think this is going to work. So there we have it, chapter 23 outlined. Now I just have to write it. Hey guys! So I just finished up chapter 23 ahead of schedule, which is awesome. Let's see, chapter 23 is coming in at 4,140 words, which is a good 1,000 words over where it needs to be at 3,000. It's kind of disheartening, like I'm supposed to be cutting all these chapters down because my goal is for this novel to hit around 95,000 words. Really, I'll take anywhere between 90 and 98 probably, just realistically speaking. But right now, let's see what draft 3 is coming in at 103,379. So a good 8,000 words over where it's supposed to be. That's not great. I've been thinking about this though. First order of business will be that I'm moving on to chapter 24. So with the estimated 30 chapters in the book, in theory, I believe I can start cutting down these chapters, in theory, fingers crossed, start cutting down these chapters to be shorter and shorter, not by a whole lot, like they're not going to be like 200 word chapters, but it is the end of the book, so things do need to start moving fast, and this could be a way to rush, like inject a sense of like urgency in the reader, but also cut down on my word count. That does mean I need to be aggressive with cutting, but I know some of the chapters coming up, and I know I can cut some of them. Unfortunately, I do need to expand at least one of them, but hopefully it won't expand a lot. Second theory is that when this is done, I'm going to send it over very quickly to my small handful of beta readers. Now, I don't have a big base of beta readers. I wish I had more of them, but I don't. Right now, I think I only have like 3 at least dedicated that I know of. I can probably squeeze 3 more in, so at max 6. I would like to have much more than that, but I don't. So I will send it out to my beta readers, and hopefully they can get it back to me and read it. And I hope a third eye, like someone who isn't me, who isn't familiar with the story, can go through it and look and say, hey, it's slowed down here. Maybe you should do something about that. And my response to it's slowed down here is cut the slow parts out. Not rewrite the slow parts, just cut them. That's the goal. So it's 11:30 on a Tuesday morning. I am super ahead of schedule. I had scheduled this entire week to be chapter 23, but it moved around pretty quickly. So I'm going to move on to chapter 24, which is a Tad chapter, my second point of view character. And his chapters always go very quickly because I knew exactly where his story was going when I wrote it. It didn't require a lot of rewrite, so it basically just requires basic editing. Just things that my brain skipped over, commas, making sentences flow better, that kind of stuff. So I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow and we'll see how I did.